Welcome back, guys. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are around this beautiful planet of ours. Today, let's look at the warning for cryptocurrency leading up into the Ethereum merge and also the tightening, squeezing volatility on Bitcoin, which is guaranteed to lead to a break. What else is guaranteed? That 10% of you will hit that like button, hopefully 20%. Smash it up down below. Remember, I was going for a haircut last week, so let me know what your thoughts are on a mullet. Also subscribe to the channel, as each of these videos is in context to one of the previous videos, because we're looking at the macro cycle here, not just the daily stuff, which we also include, but we want to look at it in terms of a macro cycle so we can understand what is going on, what's best for our investment portfolios, plans, and of course trading. The video in particular I want you to reference back to is September prediction. I'll leave a link to this all at the end of the video so it's nice and simple once you've watched this video. So the last things we've been looking at were the macro outlook on the S&P 500, as we're getting a slight divergence as we looked at here, and the market was heading straight down. We had a small bounce on Thursday with Friday gapping up, and then the professionals took control at the end of the day, slammed it back down, and only just put in a higher low than Thursday. Thursday was looking like we were going to get that reversal in the market, but so far we're still down. The hopium, we're going to look at the data here, and then I'll give you my opinions. So I'll save that hopium just for a second. But basically, we're looking for a higher low to form on the S&P for the Bitcoin, the macros on the rest of the crypto markets. So the S&P higher low needs to form above these previous lows. This is to keep the pattern validated. If we break beneath these lows at about 3,700, then the pattern becomes invalidated and we'll end up putting in potentially a lower low than these levels, but the last leg holding is 3636, so 3,636 points on the S&P. So we're underneath the 50%. We are just holding the diagonal here. You can sort of move that around slightly, but it's still, anyway you look at it, it's basically just above that. On the weekly chart, same sort of deal, just above that at the moment. The higher low, even if it does break this diagonal, is still fine, provided it closes above 3,700 where those previous lows are. That's going to then put us in for a better shape moving forward, just based on what's going on here. How is that helping Bitcoin and the crypto market? Well, if we look at the weekly on Bitcoin, we closed up slightly, just a couple of percent here, but it's still higher than last week, and we had a slight reversal week compared to the S&P, which was basically straight down. So the divergence there is that there's some more strength, some more support coming in for Bitcoin than there is for the S&P, and of course, for a period of time, Bitcoin was very closely correlated to the S&P, and whereas now we're just starting to see that slight divergence. For the daily, this is what we're looking at in terms of confirmations to the downside. It's got to be all of these lows that have been putting in at 19.5, 19.5, 19.5, 19.5. You get the drill here, basically 19.5. Anything beneath 19.5 is a reasonable short confirmation for downside plays, and then the next support levels are at 18.9 and 18,700, 18,600. So if you want to average those out, you're coming in somewhere around $18,700 for potential support, which is still then roughly a higher low for Bitcoin as well. So this is the potential break as the volatility squeezes, gets really tight on the daily. We do need to break out at some point. That's just the inevitable. And for the downside, we can see the levels clearly coming out here. For the upside, it's getting very tight here at about 20,800, 20,700. We really haven't seen that much more momentum to the upside, but there's plenty of overhead resistance here. So things are difficult, and this then referenced back to all of the reasons why in September prediction, which also referenced back to the August prediction for Bitcoin, which is why all these things keep coming together. This is just not like a one-off news-based program which things change day to day. A lot of things tend to take weeks to months to play out, and it's a good idea to go back and reference these so we can improve and make better profits in the bull market, save our profits from the bear market, and not get screwed up with dollar cost averaging in on cryptocurrencies. It might sound like I'm an absolute crypto bear, but I use cryptos to make big profits and then protect those in stable coins, some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, but you want to hold that there ready for the signals of the accumulation period finishing and then breaking out so you can get in and make those big gains again. Upsides for Bitcoin, a lot of resistance. The key exciting thing here is that we are ready for some sort of break in the price because the volatility has narrowed so much. I'll give you my opinion in just a moment for all of the buying opportunities for Bitcoin based on our more macro 4-year cycles as well. But for the daily, basically you could have went to sleep since the 26th and you wouldn't have missed much. Basically 9 or so days, not much has gone on since the market tanked on the 26th. We are now currently on the 5th of September, starting our 10th day. So you could have went to sleep for 10 days, taken a holiday, you wouldn't have missed anything at all. ETH merge, when is merge? 8 days, 14 hours, 17 minutes, obviously depending on other factors, but for now, that's the countdown for the bomb. The warning that I've got here is on the EthBTC chart, looking at the possibility of a flip or a move up and a breakout. But for first things here is looking at the US dollar on Ethereum. We just closed back above the 50% level. So basically the facts on what we're seeing here in terms of price, above the 50%, the resistance level is still at about 1700 based on the previous support levels of the bull market cycle. And then that leads us about 2 weeks from now. So we've seen 5 weeks up, we've seen 2 weeks, basically 16 days, which counts us into that third week, but basically just over 2 weeks down, which is weighing up very nicely for our patterns here. And then if we were to see another 2 or so weeks up into that merge, but the warning is forming a lower top than the previous top here, that is going to spell a little bit of disaster, I think, at least in that short-term, medium-term, weeks to months, based on technicals, seeing as if you get a lower top into some of this big bullish news, even just price patterns themselves, that then tends to spell further downside from that point. If you are serious about getting your trading and investing together while the markets are quiet so you can make full advantage of the next bull market in crypto, stocks, and real estate, this is one of the only places on the internet that you can go to get a holistic view of the entire macro cycle blended in so that we can make profits from the cryptocurrency markets. We've got tons of fantastic reviews here from current members going through the courses, YouTube viewers, guys on Twitter. There's a lot of stuff going on over here. So if you do want to get a little snippet of how we are putting all of this macroeconomics together, using it with our own investing in real estate and cryptos and also ETFs as well, check out the Investor Accelerator. It's a new month. So if you want to just get on the light plan, check it out over there. Start of the month is the best time to be getting in on that. If you want to continue to join along for the free investor newsletter, do that as well. But this one here gives you the weekly group calls. Do those on Monday morning to go through all of the markets as well. This is the best value way to keep track of the markets if you're time poor and you want to have a good grasp of what's going on out there. So I'll leave a link to this in the top of the video description. Also got the reviews over there in our Discord channel, tons going on over there. That leads me into ETH to try and piece all of this together. EthBTC, my strong warning here is, of course, leading into the merge, because when we get news announcements coming up that are already known, a lot of players tend to front run the game. You can see this is changing as we talk here, but they'll be front running the news, and of course that's what we're seeing here on the chart as well. This is our Gann swing indicator. If I throw on the candles that you would be used to, that's what it looks like. But just to clear out the noise a little bit, to give us a clearer picture, if this market can't close above 9%, this is EthBTC, remember, we'll possibly see further weakness to Ethereum, which tends to line up with the news on Ethereum as well. You know, there's been a lot of pump up on the ETH price and the strength of ETH against BTC. And if this can't stay above the previous level that was set back in the peak of the bull market in 2021, then that's probably going to spell some disaster for ETH in terms of price, based purely on the facts, the data in the charts. The peak there was at 8.2%. We attempted it again in November when ETH went on that last run of the bull market, that second leg up, the second wind, and it only managed to get to 8.8%. We're currently at 8.1 as a peak, so it's beneath both of these levels here, these extreme cases of market sentiment in the bull market. So what we need to see here, at least with the countdown as we see it now, 8 days and 14 hours, this needs to get above each of these levels as a nice clean number, 9%, just to show that ETH is actually finding its way into the mainstream and the price to hold above the Bitcoin value. I'm giving ETH about 9 days, the time here that it says leading into the merge, for it to get above this 9% on the EthBTC chart. Otherwise, I think this could spell a little more disaster for the price of ETH. And of course, if we're looking at it as a dollar cost averaging method or part of our investment plan, then lower prices, so be it. That's better for us. But if we're holding and we're hoping this thing is going to go to a new bull market and never see lower prices, then they are my target levels. Of course, my opinion based on my analysis here, but looking in the past, this is what the market has shown us. And so I'm using the data from the market as the facts. More market data facts based on Bitcoin DCAing at these low levels. We've looked at cycle buy zones. These are some previous videos, our 4-year cycle videos. So as always, subscribe to the channel, check out those playlists that tell you all about this stuff. Going back to BTC here, cycle buy zones beneath that 20K level, and that's pretty much it for this cycle at this point in time, around 11 to 20-ish K, based on our price ranges and based on our time frames as well. Timing is really, really important, and so far this market is working out pretty well to that 4-year cycle, approximately 12 to 24 months in that lower period. Let's wait and see what actually happens, but until then, we're getting some opportunities at the moment as Bitcoin starts to head below 19.5K, just like it's done in previous cycles, where once it ranges below the 25% fib retracement, then we start to get pretty good buying zones. And in some cases, they can last for months, 7, 8 months, another 5 or 6 months here in 2019, and then only for a brief moment in 2020. But at the moment, that's where we're currently sitting for BTC. Bitcoin's still under the logarithmic downtrend here, our bear downtrend. It is catching up, so that's a good sign for the bullish flip, which will eventually come, but it is going to require patience, more months away. In terms of the linear scale here, we're just creeping over that for the month of September, so stick around for that. We've obviously got the updates coming for the October predictions, but plenty to get through before that point. Don't forget, links in the top of the video description. Bybit down there, up to $4,500 sign-up bonuses, and MEXC as well for all global users around the world, $1,000 sign-up bonuses as well. See you guys at the next video. Till then, peace out.